I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a virtuoso for people like you. People seeking knowledge in the preparation of a set of drawings. Drawings that have been skillfully honed and refined over many years of meticulous commitment to craft and design. If you follow along, you may find yourself learning something you haven't previously considered. Now, keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the ride at all times. Please remain seated. Keep your eyes fixated on the screen, and enjoy your ride.
Okay, we're back to continue drawing this, and where we left off was finishing up the exterior elevations. All of this is sort of schematic. We'll come through and continue to add pieces to all of these. So if you recall, we had the plans, and so those are just started. Like, these need a bunch more things. We'll need notes and maybe more dimensions. That looks pretty good. Certainly some tags, some bunch of other stuff. So let's continue that. So also with this, we will have probably a roof plan at least. Let's get back into CAD. So that's where we left off. I think we're done with that for the moment. Go and open up the plans again because we're going to draw more plans. So let's start with a roof plan. And so since we put all of our plans in one file, meaning all levels to our plans, everything that is a plan type will be in here. So some things that we know is we're saying that's the roof. So first of all, one of the things I do is a certain distance away, I'll put the next set of plans. This is a pretty small plan, so 50 feet. I usually try to make it round numbers, so 50 or 100 feet. And obviously, if this is the first level, the level above should be above it, the level below should be below it. So if we had a lower level to this, it would be down here. If we had an upper level, it would be up there. Where did I leave off? Okay, so we're pretty standard here. A couple of things that are always going to repeat are grid lines. And we probably should have a few more things. So that's overall, that's pieces, that's the pieces, that's the overall, that's the pieces. So what I'm looking to do here is turn this into a block. Just those. So I have those. Maybe add that too. So just have we got an overall, I'll leave those off for right now. Overall, and this one probably. So a block that you can make is on your clipboard. You can copy with base point, and so I'm going to do that. That's Control-Shift-C. I'm going to copy with base point. I'm just going to pick this point, and then for this, I'm actually going to delete it, and then say clipboard. Paste as block, so that's Control-Shift-V, and when we do this, is going to be some weird named block. I know that goes right on the corner there, and that came in on whatever layer I had on last. Oh, whoops, I put this in the wrong spot, didn't I? Goes right there. That's the corner. Oop. I didn't do that right either. Should have paid attention. Should have snapped it to that corner. Should I redo that? Let's redo that. Okay. So I'm taking all those, that's the overall. All those, that's the overall. Those are the breakdowns. The overall. I got it all. And then I want probably those as well. Okay. So remember that was Control-Shift. Whoops, dang it. Hit the wrong one. Should have been Control-Shift-C. Those two. Control-Shift-C for copy on the corner. delete. Control Shift V brings it in as a block. That block is on whatever layer I had standard. We know that these are on the grid line, so put that back on the grid line. I like to send these to the back, and so now those are a block. The reason I did that is because I don't want my grid lines to change, but I want to use them again. So I just moved that up 100 feet. I'm going to move that up 100 feet, and you'll see why that becomes necessary or important later. So we're going to call this roof plan. Still a quarter, still in the north, still that. And then I can draw a polyline around here. Get my perimeter. Close that polyline. This I'm actually going to keep because I want to put that at some point we're going to need an area of this, right, for calculating our areas. So I'll change that to the area, leave that, copy that, and I know this is 100 feet up here, so that's 1,200 inches, so I put that there. Like I said, we'll need this, we'll need all of these, I'll probably want all of that, don't want the grid again. Anything else? That's it for right now. So again, copy 1,200 inches. So now I start moving these. Oops, didn't need that one. So according to our elevations, which do I still have open? I don't. Let me open those back up. I think I have the PDF open. There we go. So according to that, we just have a simple gable end roof. So that's what we're going to draw with a cupola. And that is right there. So this, we've got a roof layer, or is it a roof? And then these, I would call these the wall below, A below. That's referenced. Cupola, where is the cupola? We open up the interior elevation, or the exterior elevations. Back to our model space. Come on, back to our model space. So I think this, if I remember correctly, was 30 by 30, yep. So I can take all of this, these are grid lines, say Control Shift Copy, because I'm copying with a base point. I'll pick a nice point here on the C grid line. That way when I get over here I can go Control Shift V, put this on, I guess technically let's do a rotate 180, it's going to be right there. So that's now a block. And if I really want, I can put it on def points. That way it won't print, so I could even leave that there as reference. But I know that this was 30 by 30, and then we've got a roof offset, whatever that is. That looks like it's a pyramid, so we drew it the same way in both elevations. That's going to look like that. And then again, this is the wall below. This is our roof. And then this is underneath. So if we'd like to make these more visible, a lot of times with roof plans what I do is I'll actually do a wipeout for the roof so that the grid lines don't go through so I can see it more readily. And while AutoCAD does have a wipeout command, I usually use a hatch. And so actually this is, yeah. So I'll hatch this whole, I want to do it there? Yeah, I do. I'm going to add, select objects. Come on. We're going to add a solid hatch. Put that there. let's move this to the back, and then move this to the back. So it's behind there. Then this goes on my wipeout layer, which is set to pen 0, so you won't see it. So what I just did there, so this is behind and that's behind it. We might want to have, let's just turn this off for a moment so we can work on some things. So let's turn the grid off too, just so we don't have to stare through it. So some other things for reference might be good are these guys, just so that we can tell builders, owners, whomever. Remember, that's 100 feet up, so 1,200 inches. All on the below layer, just like that. And these then, actually move those up there. And instead of putting everything on a roof layer, I'm trying to give it some hierarchy. So I'll go back to using like my elevation numbers. And so maybe a 3 or a 4. Those actually look, what is this color? Okay. And this guy, oops, that was supposed to match properties. Those technically shouldn't be seen. That should be A below. Whoops. That was a terrible snap. Delete that. This will be on the A below layer, which is that guy. Oh man, I want to be dashed. So I'm going to change my line type to be half the size. That looks better. Put that over here as well. What the heck? Man, my snap is off tonight. And I copied it. Rid of that. Rid of that. Again, just for visual, I like to move that to the back. And so I could go through. Technically, you wouldn't see any of these lines inside of these members, right? But because I know I have the wipeout command, I can hatch these and then just have the hatch be above it. So I'm going to pick select objects. Because these are all rectangles, they're going to be closed. I can say OK. There's that. They're all above. Move this to wipeout layer, which is turned off right now, which is fine. That is off. Yes, OK. So that's that. That's that. My grid is on. So then for roof layer, for roof plans, somewhere over here, we have here. Roof pitch flags. So I don't remember what we drew this at. Do you? So this side, centered always looks nice. Oh, of course I didn't take that one. Let's try and find out. Actually, that makes me think that we should have drawn this. So a 12, whatever, what is this? We did a 12, 6. Okay. Let's add those notes right now, so we don't have to figure this out again. So a 612 pitch. Those should go on the note layer. Notes. Could be note 2 if we have multiple levels of note. We could certainly do both sides. I think they'll probably get it, but let's do it anyway, just so we know. So that's 612. So back over to my plans. This guy is a 612. So is this side. It's cantilever, that's pretty much that. Those are that. Okay. We're just about done here. So what kind of roof was this? I don't even remember. shingles. Shingle roof. Okay. So for that, I don't know that we need to really indicate anything in here. Maybe why don't we add a note? Probably dimensional shingle, right? Add a little note. Let's do another note up here. Keep it in line because that looks nice. We'll call this. I don't like it right on the center always. Cupola? Is that how you spell that? Cupola with, we'll say metal roof. Why not? I don't know if that's what it is, but it sounds nice. Line that up. And since we're noting, let's note the heck out of this. This was wood trellis, I believe, right? Do we know what kind of wood? No. Wood trellis, horizontal siding. So we're just going to go with wood trellis for right now. All of this is iterative, so when we find out if we're using Doug fir or if we're using cedar or something other than that, we can add it. Okay, so those are the basics. So we don't need this anymore. That was just for reference. Just wanted a quick thing. If I needed to reference it longer, I would have XREF'd back the elevations. We want to turn the grid back on. We can leave those for right now. What else did I turn off? Wipeout, the wipeout layer. Okay, so are those still behind? Still behind. All good. So let's go see if we can add this and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, so I remember I said I was going to do some sort of foundation here because I just wanted to show upper and lower levels. That seems like a decent distance apart. It could have been a specific distance. So here's where the separation between the two comes in handy. So I just copied that over, so these are exactly the same viewports. And so if I double click in here, I can use the -pan command, which will pan in a specific displacement point, just kind of like the move command. So if I pick a point this way, it'll go 1200 inches, and now it just locks into place. And so if I click back out of here, those specifically align. If they were up and down, they would align. If I was going from page to page, and I wanted this on the same exact page for the next one, that would align as well. In this particular one, we happen to be putting everything on the same page. So it's not going to matter too much. Maybe I'll do that with a reflected ceiling or something along those lines. I might be able to get it here as well. I'll probably do it a different page just to make things more fun. I'll leave that there for right now. So that is drawing a roof plan very quickly. I think I'm going to leave it there for this video and maybe come back for, I guess we'll do like a foundation plan on the next one. Alright, thanks, bye. Actually, before I completely end this, let's print a progress set. And today, yeah, still. So I'm going to double click into the XREF, which takes me right to the XREF. That's what that little dialog box was. Whoa, whoops. Today's date. Whoops. 5/8. And if you have the ribbon open, you'll know that that says save changes. You really want to save changes? Yes, I really want to save changes. So let's plot the whole thing here. Let's plot the whole set. So again, if I go to publish, I can ask to publish this sheet. Oh, I had the other ones open. How convenient. So those are all the sheets I have right now. So let me cancel here quick. No, I don't want to save the sheets. Since I had it open already, that needed, see, an XREF was modified. That was the sheet layout, XREF. And so right now it doesn't have that date. So if I would have printed this, it probably wouldn't print with a date. But if I reload this or close this, that would update. See how that just synced up? So let's go back to here. Because both of those are open, they're going to automatically come into my publish command. Three and 4, yes, let's publish that. There were no errors. Under drawings and then plots. And the SLH plans, no, let's do it progress with the new date 5/8/2024. Do I want to save this current shit? No, I don't. If I had 100 sheets, maybe I would, but didn't really want to save that. So right now, that's printing in the background here. You'll see it'll be pretty quick. It'll pop up a little bubble in a second. Plot and publish complete. Don't need that dialog. Let's see if we can go back in there. In our plots folder. See what it looks like. So again, if you remember with the wipeout command, see how it's not printing underneath there? It's basically, my hatch is the wipeout command. And so that's hiding everything underneath there. But if you remember, I moved it all the way to the back, so that means if these are layered on top of one another, these lines are on the top layer, the wipeout is on the next layer down, and the grid lines are on the next layer down on that. So that's how I'm achieving this look where the grid lines are interrupted, still giving you an indication of where they are, but not mucking up the drawing so that the drawing can look much clearer. So if I wanted to draw in whatever, maybe roof penetrations or skylights or anything else that's in here, I don't have the dashed lines interfering on this one, which always makes this look a little bit cleaner. Oh, I already see a mistake that I did. This should have been number 2 because that's number 1 on a sheet, you know, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to do it. Maybe that should have been up and below, because if this is lower, that could be upper. Maybe we'll redo that. I feel like that's a better presentation. Since I need to redo this anyway, let's redo that right now. So, because I think the stacking is important and it's very telling. Oops. Let's move this all the way up. I think this should be half the size. Oops, I guess I want to move that one all the way down. Put this one on top. We fit? Oh no, it's a little tight. There's my line where we're cutting things off. So, instead of squishing this all up, let's adjust our grid lines. And because we made this a block, this will be very simple, I think. So since the block is most sensitive here, let's move this down a little. Just doesn't need to have that much room. So then I'm going to right click and say Edit Block in Place. And that will allow everything else to remain on while I edit this block, and you see it. See how everything else grayed out? So because this is a block, I'm just going to slide this guy down about there. Say Save Changes. Yes, I'd really like to save the changes. And as you can see, that updated up here. So when I go back to my paper space, I've got a lot more room, and it automatically fits on the sheet. That has just a little bit more white space, which is nice. Did I grab both of those? I guess I did. Stay up there. I like to just have these separated. Usually it's easier to mess around with things when you're doing it. So now that I have these layouts and I've made that smaller, one of the things I also like to do is draw a rectangle around whatever plans are current. And so I'm just getting relatively close to the edge of the viewport. So that does a number of things for me. So like if I want to add notes and put everything else, I know that I can put it within that box. So if I go back to model space, I don't have to come in to paper space every time to see if that's going to fit on my sheet or fit on my viewport. In this instance, I can certainly make it a little bit bigger because we have a larger sheet, but it gives me a reference. And so this reference I don't want to see, so let's move that to the def points layer. And then let's give this one a copy. We know that's 100 feet up. So we know that anywhere I want to put notes, comments, anything, will just be inside this rectangle and we're good to go. The other signifying factor for this is if we're doing a remodel project or something like that, I would copy over a name and call like this like proposed, and maybe have an existing or maybe a demo plan, anything along those lines that we could clearly identify so that when the next person comes in to draw the drawings, they know what the right drawings are. It has a rectangle around it, it has a label. So in this case, this is a brand new construction, so there shouldn't be any other plans in here, just the plans that we're drawing for our plan, for our house. So that's updated, that looks good. What's the other thing? Oh, geez, I didn't do it there either. So if that's number, oh, that's what I was going to fix. So that's 1. This is 2. It makes me wonder if I did that on the elevations. I don't recall now. Let me go check those. I did. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way, if you know, you're writing an email or something, and you want somebody to look at the south elevation, you can say, see the south elevation 3/A4.1, because that's what it is. That's where it's located. It's the third thing on the sheet on A4.1, and it very easily references. It's not this one. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's 3A4.1. So if we go back to publish, we can republish both of these. Because they're both open, they both show up. I didn't change anything else, so that should be fine. The publish command, I don't know why it doesn't go back to the last one that I did. It's really annoying. I wish it would. And the plots folder. This keeps me remembering where we were. And so I actually want to replace this one, because that's just what we did, and I guess I'd like to replace it. We updated it, so no, I don't want to save the current sheet. There's no need to keep that other one because it was wrong. So just update it to the correct one, and we're good to go. I could have put it on top, could have put it on the bottom. Plot is done. But again, reading the sheet, it's easy to read that, hey, this is the lower level, that's the upper level, because it's above it, this is below it. When I do the foundation plan, I'm probably going to put it over here and call it 4. I could call it 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll do that, because that would be the levels 1, 2, 3. Seems to make sense. If these were larger plans, these would have their own sheets, so it would be 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and it would be very obvious that way. But because I'm building it on one sheet, it's a little more open to interpretation. But I definitely like the above and below situation to tell things. I think that looks better. So let's go look at the plans that we printed. So that looks good. 1, 2, and then these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we wrap that up. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.